All right, let's dive into Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
It's a classic.
It is. You've probably heard of the March sisters.
Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy.
Yeah.
Such different personalities.
Oh, absolutely.
But today we're going beyond that charming, familiar story.
Right. Digging deeper.
Uncovering those life lessons and the social commentary that Alcott wove in.
Which, honestly, can feel so relevant even now.
It's amazing how Alcott creates this vivid picture of life in the 1800s.
The 19th century America, yeah.
But she also, she really gets at those universal truths about family and society.
Okay, so family.
You can't talk about Little Women without that.
You can't. The bond between the sisters is just...
It's so powerful.
So powerful.
They dicker like any siblings.
Oh, constantly.
But that underlying love.
It's always there.
Unwavering support.
And Alcott uses that dynamic to kind of,
Yeah.
subtly critique the pressures women face then.
Oh, for sure. Think about Meg.
Okay.
She wants that traditional family life, but she comes up against those financial limitations.
Oh, that scene where she's like confessing to Jo about wanting fancy clothes.
I felt that.
So relatable.
Right. That pressure to keep up appearances.
And it makes you question, is it really worth chasing those societal ideals?
Exactly. Alcott is subtly exposing the shallowness of judging worth by material things.
Okay, but let's shift gears a bit.
Sure.
Talk about Jo, our aspiring writer, the tomboy.
She's always pushing back against expectations.
It's like Alcott is giving a voice to every woman who's ever felt held back by,
By the shoulds.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so interesting how much Jo's character mirrors Alcott's own life.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Even the name Jo, short for Josephine, was Alcott's nickname.
Wow.
Both of them faced criticism for going after a writing career.
Which, back then...
Oh, very unconventional for a woman.
It makes you think about how many talented women were silenced,
Throughout history.
because they dared to be different.
Exactly.
But Jo and Alcott, they persevered.
They paved the way for others.
Such a good reminder to never let anyone dim your light.
Yes. Embrace what makes you unique.
No, we can't forget Beth, the quiet one.
The heart of the family.
She finds joy in the simple things.
Music, family, kindness.
It's such a contrast to Jo's, fiery spirit.
But there's a real beauty in Beth's contentment.
Especially in today's world where it's all about,
Hustle culture.
Yeah, always achieving, always doing.
It's like Alcott is offering an alternative.
Like, hey, maybe there's a different way to live a meaningful life.
Exactly. True fulfillment doesn't have to come from external validation or material possession.
It's about those quiet moments.
Finding joy in the ordinary.
And then there's Amy, the youngest.
Starts off a bit,
Bit of a handful.
a little vain, maybe.
Materialistic.
But her transformation throughout the book.
It's incredible.
She goes from being fixated on appearances
Right.
to realizing compassion and empathy are so much more valuable.
That scene where she uses her money to help a family instead of buying a necklace.
It's a turning point.
You see her realizing her privilege and using it for good.
Alcott brilliantly illustrates that real maturity comes from developing a strong moral compass.
It's not about wealth or social status.
Exactly. It's about those inner qualities.
Okay, so we've talked about each sister.
Yeah.
And how they challenge norms in their own way.
It's like Alcott is exploring this tension
Between pursuing ambition,
and fulfilling those societal expectations.
which feels, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a struggle we still face today.
Absolutely. How do we balance our dreams with the roles society throws at us
It's like Little Women is holding up a mirror.
to our own lives?
We might not be dealing with the exact same constraints.
But those core themes, self-discovery, ambition, the search for fulfillment,
Those are universal.
they transcend time and place.
Exactly, which is why this book still resonates so much.
It offers insights into the human experience
Insights that were relevant over 150 years ago.
and are still relevant today.
So as we dive deeper in the next part,
Yes.
I want you to think about which sister story resonates with you most
And why?
and what challenges you face today that are similar to theirs.
Share your thoughts in the comments.
Let's keep this conversation going.
Because Little Women is so much more than just a story.
It's a conversation starter,
It's a mirror
reflecting our struggles and aspirations
and a timeless reminder.
of the power of family, love, and being yourself,
We'll be back soon with part 2.
where we'll explore the life lessons hidden within this beloved story and see just how relevant they are to our lives today. Stay tuned.
Back to Little Women. And you know what always strikes me
How's that?
is how Alcott balances those fun sisterly moments with
Yeah.
really deep life lessons.
Right. It's not all sunshine and picnics.
No, not at all.
They go through real hardship.
Financial struggles, societal pressures, even loss and grief.
It's what makes the book so powerful.
It reflects the whole human experience, you know?
Not just the pretty parts.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get into those life lessons.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think Alcott was trying to tell her readers?
Well, for me, one of the biggest ones is family.
Oh.
And not just the traditional kind.
Right.
The March sisters show us that family can be this source of,
To strength.
support even when...
Even when they drive you crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
They're always bickering.
But they have each other's backs,
Always.
which is such a powerful message, especially now.
Oh, for sure. There's so many different family structures today.
Alcott reminds us that family can go beyond blood ties.
It's about that sense of belonging, that unconditional love.
Another lesson that jumps out is the courage to be yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jo embodies that.
She totally does.
Refusing to fit into those narrow boxes society creates for women.
It's not just about being a tomboy.
Right.
It's about her passion for writing.
Right. Pursuing that career, even when it was so unconventional.
Exactly. Following your dreams, no matter what the world says.
Like Alcott is saying, don't let anyone dim your light.
Yes. Embrace what makes you you.
And you know what's interesting?
What?
Alcott faced similar challenges.
Oh, for sure. Being a female author back then,
It wasn't easy.
not at all. So Jo's story is really personal for Alcott.
Okay, so family, being yourself.
Yeah.
What else?
Finding fulfillment in the simple things.
Okay.
Think about Beth.
Yeah, quiet Beth.
She finds joy in music, in her family, in being kind.
In a world that's all about doing more, being more.
Yeah, hustle culture and all that.
Beth's story is almost like a breath of fresh air.
Right? It's like a reminder that
Maybe happiness isn't about all those big accomplishments.
maybe it's about those little moments.
The ordinary things.
Exactly. Finding contentment in those.
I love that. Slowing down, appreciating the beauty around us.
Yeah.
Okay, what about perseverance? Facing tough times.
Oh, the March family goes through so much.
Financial hardship, their dad away at war, Beth's illness,
And yet they handle it all with such grace.
resilience too.
Remember when they give up their Christmas breakfast?
To help another family.
It's such a powerful image.
Even when you're struggling, you can still help others.
And sometimes those acts of kindness, they give us strength to keep going.
It's not about pretending everything's okay.
No, it's about facing those hard times head on.
With compassion.
Yes. Helping others even when you need help yourself.
Okay, we've covered family, being yourself, finding joy, perseverance.
What are we missing?
There's one more big lesson in Little Women.
Oh, you're right. Love is the greatest wealth.
Yes.
I mean, they don't have much money,
Right.
but the March sisters are rich in love and kindness.
Those values they hold dear.
Their wealth isn't about money. It's about something deeper.
And that message feels so relevant now, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. When our world is so obsessed with material things.
Little Women reminds us that true wealth is about love, about connection.
About how we treat each other.
So we've unpacked some pretty profound stuff here,
We have.
but it's not all serious.
No, not at all.
There's humor, there's romance,
And those little moments of family chaos.
which make you laugh and cry at the same time.
Exactly. Alcott blends it all so well.
Like when Jo burns Meg's hair trying to curl it.
Oh, that scene.
A disaster, but also hilarious.
It's those little moments of sibling rivalry.
And the affection underneath.
They make the March sisters feel so real.
Like people we actually know.
With all their flaws.
And it's those flaws, those moments of vulnerability.
To make them relatable.
It's okay to not be perfect.
To make mistakes.
To have doubts.
It's about how we learn and grow from those experiences.
So as we head into the last part of our deep dive,
Okay.
think about this. How have these life lessons resonated with you?
Yeah. What challenges have you faced that mirror the March sisters?
Share your thoughts in the comments.
We'd love to hear your perspectives.
Stay tuned for part 3.
Where we'll wrap up the book.
Explore Alcott's legacy and imagine the March sisters living in today's world. We're back, and we've spent the last 2 parts really getting to know these March sisters.
Their hopes, their dreams, their struggles.
Yeah, but now let's talk about how their stories end.
And what kind of mark Little Women has left on the world.
Okay, so the ending?
It's not all wrapped up neatly.
Right, it's not a fairy tale.
No. The sisters find love and purpose, but
There are still challenges.
life doesn't just become easy.
Exactly like Meg.
She finds happiness in family life,
Right, but she's still dealing with
the very real struggles of raising kids,
on a tight budget.
which is something a lot of people can relate to.
Absolutely, those temperamental toddlers.
Trying to make ends meet, but also...
Not sacrificing those values.
Exactly. Life is full of curveballs, even when you achieve your dream.
And then there's Jo.
Who chooses a less traditional path.
Right, she finds love with Professor Bear. But
It's not a typical romance.
not a whirlwind, yeah.
It's a partnership built on respect.
Shared passions.
And don't forget, she opens her own school.
A school for boys who don't fit in.
It's the perfect ending for her,
It really is. Embracing her unconventional spirit.
while also nurturing the next generation.
It's like Alcott is saying, you can have it all.
Love, fulfillment, without sacrificing your dreams.
You can create your own definition of success.
And then Amy, our artist,
She ends up in Europe.
pursuing her art.
Such a bold move for a woman back then.
It shows how much she's grown.
From that girl who was so focused on appearances.
She's learned that real growth comes from stepping outside your comfort zone.
Embracing new experiences, using your talents to make a difference.
And, of course, we can't forget Beth.
Even though she's gone, her presence is still felt.
Her gentle spirit, her love, it continues to guide her sisters.
It's a reminder that the impact we make on others.
It lasts even after we're gone.
Okay, so we've talked about the ending. But why do you think Little Women has resonated with so many people for so long?
Well, I think it's the characters, first of all.
We love them.
They're relatable, they feel real.
And the themes, those timeless issues.
Family, ambition, societal expectations.
But Alcott does it in a way that's not preachy.
She weaves in that social commentary so skillfully.
It makes you think, but it also keeps you entertained.
And it's not just about the issues themselves, it's how they're explored through these characters.
We see ourselves in the March Sisters.
Their dreams, their flaws, their victories.
It makes you feel less alone.
Like you're part of something bigger.
That's what makes Little Women so timeless.
It reminds us that the challenges we face are often universal.
And that even in tough times.
There's hope, there's love, there's growth.
So beautifully put.
Thank you.
And that brings us to why this book is still relevant today.
Because it reminds us of what truly matters.
Family. Staying true to yourself.
The power of love and kindness.
Those messages are so important, especially now.
When the world feels so divided.
Okay, one last question before we wrap up.
Right.
If the March Sisters lived today, what do you think their lives would be like?
Oh, that's a great question.
Let's hear what our listeners think.
Yes, head to the comments and tell us your ideas.
Imagine Meg as a mommy blogger.
Or Joe writing a viral post about gender inequality in tech.
Maybe Amy starts a sustainable fashion line.
And Beth using her music for therapy.
It's fun to think about how their stories might play out in a modern setting.
While still honoring Alcott's vision.
And on that note, it's time to say goodbye.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Little Women.
We hope you've gained some new insights.
Rekindled your love for this classic.
And maybe even found some inspiration for your own life journey.
As always, keep exploring the world of books and stories.
There's always something new to discover.
And until next time,
Happy reading.